Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another new project for 2025. This is a bit of a departure for me. Never done anything like this before. Probably be a challenging one. Hopefully doesn't mess up the mojo. But anyway, let's get a look at it. Here you go. There it is. Just quite a big box. So it's Rebels 1 to 144 scale U190. I think that's a Type 9C/40. Sorry about the glare. German submarine. So gonna have a bash at that. So let's get over to the desk and see how we get on. Cheers. Hi guys. So at the desk here, just starting off putting the two halves together of the I was gonna say fuselage there, but it's a boat, isn't it? So you can see I put in the internal sort of supporting struts, whatever you want to call them, and now putting on some glue. Now this glue is a bit gloopy, and I've just discovered why. I usually normally use extra thin, but this is medium, so I don't know, I maybe have ordered the wrong stuff. Anyway, so I'm basically just spreading this around the edges of the two sides of the boat to put them together. So just a bit to dab here and there, and on the internal support struts as well. And then what I'll do is I'll then get the other half and push it together. Now I've already dried fit this, and the fit seems to be quite good. However, the underside, there seems to be a bit of a lip. Now I don't know whether that's meant to be there as part of the boat, the shape of the boat, but it's like a wee step. But if anybody's built this and is watching this, do drop me a comment. I'm inclined to sort of sand it down flat, so that we get a nice flush seam. Apologies, the radio's on in the background. I forgot to turn it off before I done this voiceover. But anyway, so here we go. We're putting the two halves together. So as I said, I've already dry fit this, and it fits quite well. So just pushing it together now, and hopefully we get a good seam. So there you are. I'm squeezing it together now. So now I'm going to get a lot of clamps and tape out to tape it together. So you can see there, so see where my left hand is, that ridge, it seems to be quite a step in it when everything was lined up. Yeah, all the location holes and that and everything seemed to be flat and square, but that long ridge on the underside seemed to have a bit of a step, about a millimetre to it's quite noticeable. So going round, so this is all the bottom half bit. So just trying to get a nice fit and get the clamps on. These clips are quite good, especially the bigger ones. They've got quite a good strong tension. I also use bulldog clips, and you'll see that in a minute, hopefully, to give it a really good squeeze on the glue to get the parts well fused together. So it's a bit footery, but we get there. And then once we get everything lined up, then another wee drop of glue in the spots, and hopefully the plastic will melt sufficiently enough to give us that nice seam. So there you are. I'm pressing that down. There we go. So just checking the upper side of it now at the moment, and the back end. So this is a bit of trial and error here to see what works and what doesn't work. So there you are. I'm just putting another wee drop of glue into that sort of seam, and then I'll get some masking tape here and try and hold that together so that we can get a good overnight stick. So I'll let this sit over for 24 hours or so, and just let these two pieces join together and get a nice good strong bond, and then we can carry on with the building. I don't think there's too many parts to this U-boat. There's 4 or 5 frames, but there's not too many on each frame. I think most of the work will be up on the sail or the conning tower. But yeah, so you see another wee bit, another wee drop of glue in there, and then so I'm just wiping some excess if my head wasn't in the way, because this the gloopiness in it. That's realised I got the wrong glue, but hey ho, you move on. So a wee bit more tape now to just squeeze it all together and get a nice good bond. So just what that tape is, that's the start of this ridge I'm talking about. That there's a bit of a step. Now I think that's meant to be flush. The whole length of that. You shouldn't have a step, a millimeter step. So I think once this is dry, I'll just sand that back to get it nice and clean. The same when you would do a fuselage joint as well. But yeah, that wasn't too bad in retrospect. Putting that together, I thought it would have been a wee bit more footery. But it went together okay. Obviously, once it's dry and I take all the tape and clamps off, we can then see what the damage is, if any. So a bit more tape going on here now to squeeze in that wee end bit as well, and hopefully there's no need for any filler, and it's a good enough fit. So there you go. Happy days. Hi guys. So at the desk here again, just give me an update on the build of the U190. As you can see, I've just put the decks on there actually. So just a bit of the fit was quite good actually, but I'm just putting a bit of tape down to hold the sides of the hull together, just to give it a nice fit. Everything else is in place. Quite an enjoyable wee build so far actually, nothing too challenging. But I just thought I'd share with you the progress so far. No major issues as yet, not that unless I come across it, but yeah, I'll think I'll let that sit now for maybe tomorrow. Give it 24 hours so it really seals up, and then I'll start on the conning tower. And that just shows me. You see this wee line here? Hopefully the camera can pick that up, guys. I think that part of the deck was in the box and it was bent. Now, it wasn't Rebel's fault. I think it was me when I opened it and then put it back in again. I think I didn't put it in correctly because there was a bit of a bend and I tried to straighten it out. But as you can see, it marked plastic. Now the plastic from this Rebel is quite thick. Well, it seems to me to be quite thick. But I'm hoping that when I go to paint and spray, hopefully that'll disappear and we'll be none the wiser. But that's looking pretty flat. A wee bit of a lip there. I'll maybe just fix that while I'm here. Touch of glue and then press that down a wee bit. Yeah, so we'll get a nice flat deck. But yeah, pretty happy the way things are going. I just need to figure out the painting sequence and whatnot. But yeah, I'm happy enough. So I'll see you soon, guys. Thanks. Bye. So guys, back at the desk now. Just give you an update on the build process. So we'll just start with conning tower. think according to instructions, I think everything's on that I need to get on there. Um, Pretty happy the way that's turned out now. Them railings were quite footery, but we got there. Um, no real issues. There was, I don't know where you can see it, but there was meant to be like a communication pipe. You know the pipes they used to blow uh, the different levels on the boat, but I just couldn't get it in there, so I had to leave that out. But yeah, that was a bit of a tight squeeze getting the two periscopes down. But really good. And actually, when you put it on the boat, it just slides in no problem. So that's really good. I've left the guns off because I want to try and paint them separately if I can. So I'm just getting ready for primer here at the moment. Um, I'll maybe just do a black primer because I want the grey to go over. When I just have the black coming through slightly on the grey. So that's pretty happy the way that's turned out now. To be fair, pretty happy with that. So the main boat, I think I showed you this already. I've just painted the the deepest underside, and the reason I've done that first is I want to use that as a handle. Just so what I'll do is I'll mask over that. I'll take that tape off, and put it over that, and then I can be able to hold it and spray when I can. But other than that, pretty good. I'm getting a bit of a spring here. Can you see that? I've tried to super glue that down, but it won't go down, and I'm buggered if I'm gonna lift it. Don't know what's going on there. I've tried some super glue. You see, you can squeeze it in down there, but it's still lifting. Um, Throughout the rest of the deck seems to quite level and flush with the hull. But there you are, guys. I just want to give you an update. So basically, I've got most of the build done. Just to put a few railings on here. So that's these parts here, case sprue either side. So other than that, that's all the parts on the kit, and then we'll get ready for the good bit. So once again, YouTube Gump, thank you very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Excuse me. Click subscribe. And comment, good and bad. I always like to read the comments and respond back appropriately. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part two. Cheers.